Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And today's video is a special video indeed, right here for the channel. Not only because it's another Champions League night and it's a Champions League adventure, and those are very special right here on the channel, but we finally, and the Rock said finally, have something that we have been hoping and craving for through every European draw. Whenever it was possible or feasible, we wanted a Battle of Britain. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a Battle of Britain is coming. And it's less than 24 hours away. So I think it's fair to say I'm pretty excited about this one, ladies and gentlemen. I still hear stories from the old man about the previous Battle of Britain, hence the attire for today's video. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. And as always, we will start off the way we always start off, by having a look at tomorrow's dance partner and starting off with the oppositional preview, to have a look at a Liverpool side who are surprisingly stuttering at the start of this season. And I don't think many people were expecting that before a ball was kicked this season, that Liverpool would be coming into the first game versus Rangers sitting a whopping ninth in the table. Ninth in the table through the opening 7 matches in the top flight of English football. It's been a very disappointing start to the season, as they've had really poor results away from home. They've dropped points to Fulham, Everton, and of course Manchester United. And also it's kind of followed them into the home form, which was always their staple, their bread and butter through the successful times that they've had under Klopp. Well, they've had some mishaps and truly horrific performances. I mean, they dropped points at home to not only Crystal Palace but also to Brighton in their most recent game coming in to this match versus Rangers just at the weekend. They drew free to Brighton, people, as they were blown away in the opening 15 minutes as Brighton took a 2-0 lead, surprise to a lot of people. But to be fair to Liverpool, they did battle, they did fight, and they got the little bit of luck in terms of an own goal and that to get themselves back into the game and then take the lead in the game. And it looked like it was mission successful. We got the 3 points, but then Trossard popped up and grabbed his hat-trick with 8 minutes to go. People, what a special memory that is, to score a hat-trick at Anfield. But from a Rangers perspective, I'm watching the defender and I'm watching the standard there, and I'm opening my eyes and saying, right, I quite like that, people, because not only in that game were they defensively poor, but through every game that they've played, they continue to concede such cheap and easy goals, and the majority, if not all of them, all seem to come down the side of Trent Alexander, who again to this day shows he couldn't track his order on Just Eat. Now, to me, despite all the memes and everything, I do think Trent Alexander is a fantastic footballer. You look at his set piece, his deliveries, his crosses, his shots and everything. He's a wonderful, wonderful footballer. He's not a wonderful, wonderful defender, and that's been highlighted a lot this season, because it's almost like the fear factor has started to fade from this Liverpool side, who again have been excellent for so long. Teams are now gone for them now, and Trent's defensive weaknesses and that are being highlighted. And to be fair, Klopp spoke out in the press and said that's the way we play. Trent will be pulled out of position, and I understand what he's saying, but some of the goals, man, not only in terms of the league, if we pull it to just European football, where again it's relevant to us, especially that first game versus Napoli, a lot was made about us getting pumped off Ajax, and rightly so. We were horrific, and I've had my say on that, but Liverpool were even worse as they travelled away to Napoli. They got beat 4-1 on the day, but almost every single goal was again coming down the right hand side from Liverpool, where the final score was 4, but it really should have been 8, as Napoli missed a penalty, missed a tap-in, had one cleared off the line and hit the post. It was a wonderful attacking display from Napoli, but again defensively for Liverpool, they were all over the place as they couldn't handle the direct pace that was being flung their way. But to be fair to this Liverpool side, that was game week 1, and game week 2 they bounced back and got a vital 3 points at home versus Ajax, and a fantastic game of football from a neutral's point of view. Just 2 good footballing sides playing at it, going after each other, chances galore. Anybody could have won that game, but it was Liverpool that managed to get that decisive goal, I should say, in the last minute, with Matip put in the difference maker between Liverpool and Calvin Bassey FC. So I think if we're digesting everything that we've just spoken about, it's fair to say hit or miss when it comes with this Liverpool. Sometimes they're excellent, sometimes you look at them like they've never played football before. But if I'm honest with you, I'm not going to get lost up in the height and some of the hatchet jobs that people are doing out there, and pundits and all that, talking this Liverpool side, oh they're bad now, oh they're on the decline and all that. No, people, I'm not ready to call it there with this fantastic Liverpool side. They've still got absolutely incredible players, and the way they go about their business with the wingers bombing forward. Again, we've talked about Trent's delivery, Robertson on the other side. On the wings you have Salah and Diaz cutting inside, having shots, running out wide, setting other people up. You've got Bobby Firmino, who for me is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I just think he's incredible footballer to watch. Can play anywhere. You can sit that lad anywhere in a day, a job for you, but you can drop in, make runs into the box, link up play, find other people. A fantastic footballer. And of course, the big money signing, the £100 million man, the man that we've actually had experience with before, Mr. Nunes. If they are wanting some aerial threat and some height, they've got him to bring in there and an attack a Rangers side who doesn't have much aerial threat or some height. And that of course leads me directly to how Liverpool set up and go about their business, people, because they can hurt you in multitudes of ways. And you kind of talked about the players individually there, but they do line up in a 4-3-3 on paper. But this is a team that again is built to attack. When they're able to go forward, they're as good as anyone that's kicking a football right now. And I don't care what anyone has to say about their start of the season, they can still flip it on and switch it. They've just had some issues this season. You know what I mean? Form is temporary, class is permanent. There's a lot of class players amongst this Liverpool side, and I genuinely do believe that it's only a matter of time before it clicks and Liverpool get back to looking like the team that they can actually be. I'm just hoping it doesn't start clicking tomorrow. That would be lovely. Liverpool, I'd like to see another performance like Brighton, if you don't mind. Merci beaucoup. But aye, that's all I'm going to say. All the media nonsense that's getting put out about this Liverpool side being bad and all that now is a joke, people, and it's just lazy clickbait journalism. They're a fantastic side, and aye, hopefully we didn't see that tomorrow. And you know, probably the easiest way I can maybe explain this for people who obviously tune into the video a lot, it's very similar to when I was looking at a Dortmund side. You know how Dortmund was just built to go forward, and when they're allowed to go forward, oh my god, you're sitting looking at it. It's very reminiscent of that versus Liverpool. No, I'm not saying that the Dortmund side was as good as Liverpool or anything. That's not what I'm saying. For me, Liverpool is a better side, but I'm talking about how comfortable they are when it's gone forward and how comfortable they look when they're allowed to dictate play. But when you start flipping it the other way, when you start hitting long balls into the channel, when you start going after the full-backs, there is some rattles. When you start putting balls into the mixer, all these untouchable defenders who strolled through games last season when they weren't getting challenged start to look a little bit iffy. So aye, that's what I'm going to say, but that is very reminiscent of how Dortmund had that aura about them going forward. You look at it and say, oh my god, but defensively say, we've got a few chances here. And that's all we have to take, people. A few chances. That would be very, very nice. But that's all I've really got to say about this Liverpool side. I think it's going to be extremely difficult. I think it could be decided by set pieces. They are phenomenal. Let me go to some of the best crossers in football in that Liverpool side, especially at Trent. They've got real height in Van Dijk, Matip, Nunes if he's playing. They've got a lot of boys there that it's bread and butter's getting up there and winning headers, and that could be the difference between the two sides, because as I've already touched on, that's not something we excel in. But aye, phenomenal challenge, phenomenal side, phenomenal players, phenomenal manager, and for me, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, test that we've had for a very, very long time. And aye, with that being said, that's reached the end of the oppositional preview. Now it's time to get to the Rangers side of today's video, because I'm thinking the mindset that we need to have, not only as fans, but players, has just been fearless in this game, because we have absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, to lose from this game. 99.9% outsiders that's looking in at Rangers in this Champions League group thinks we're out already after losing our opening two Champions League groups, with the goal difference being what it was. Everyone is saying Rangers Football Club are out of the Champions League already, and again, they might be right by the time it's all said and done. But what have we said on the channel for years and years and years? There is nothing more dangerous than a side that's got absolutely nothing to lose. Liverpool's got all the pressure. There's some real buzzards going around now starting to look at this Liverpool player. English right back, again, Trent's getting targeted for everywhere, even the England managers coming out. You've got Klopp's questions now, somebody that was untouchable for so long, starting to look at it. Is he having that syndrome that he had with Dortmund? Is it on a decline? There's a lot of pressure on Liverpool to start turning things around and performing. On our perspective, again, there's nobody thinks we can do anything. So go into this game with that freedom, with that fearlessness of nothing to lose, and just go after it. Because as we said during the Liverpool side, if you set up this team, if you set up the way we set up versus Ajax, this could be even worse than a 4-0. And I was embarrassed by how we went about in Ajax. We didn't look like we believed we could be there. For me, we had a much better approach and mentality for the game versus Napoli at home. And if I had Cholak in there, instead of Morelos, I think he takes one of those major opportunities that we missed, and we could have had a completely different conversation going in to half time. But again, it's time to back up now with another away. Normally we're a lot more defensive away from him, but I just don't think we can afford to be. I don't think there's any point in parking the bus, and I know this is ridiculous to say and say you have to go out there and attack Liverpool at Anfield on a European night, and I know how ridiculous that sounds, but we have put ourselves into this position. Our backs are up against the wall. All we can do is come out swinging, people. So what's the harm? We've parked the bus and been battered for nothing. Is it no worth going after them and taking inspiration from the likes of Fulham and Brighton, who Fulham scored 2 goals against them, Brighton scored 3 goals against them? Can we not take inspiration from these sides and how they approached the games by saying, right, they've probably got better individuals and better than this and they're better than that, but let's just make it a fight. Let's win every ball, let's win every tackle, let's go full-hearted, and let's pile people forward and get a team that's so used to dominating and choking the life out of teams gone the other way, and attack the gaps and put the players in positions they're no used to be playing in. For me, that's the way we need to take. And you look into those games and you look at how they've hurt Liverpool, and yes, the mountain is very, very steep tomorrow, but it's not impossible. And I know a lot of this is ifs and maybes and buts and all that stuff. I would like it to be absolutes, and you're welcome for that one. But again, it's a game of football at the end of the day, people. It's a Champions League night. Go out there and just give everything and see what happens when it's all said and done, when that whistle goes. Because as we always say, hard work can beat talent if talent doesn't work hard enough. And if you look at Liverpool's results, some of the performances from the players and everything like that, they've not been 100% at it, in my opinion. So there could be a wee bit of wiggle room to come and nick that off. But again, even saying that, people, it's obviously a very, very difficult task. But why go in with anything but belief and hope for your football team? That's no how I go about my business. So aye, people, that's what I've got to say from the Rangers conversation. There's no defeatist attitude here. I'm not saying, oh, there's no point, we're going to get beaten. Or no, just go for it. Just freaking go for it and see what happens, people. And before we wrap up and get to the team news and get to obviously the prediction, there is going to be a question that I can see fired. It's been fired in since the Hearts preview. I've been reading your comments because Tony just keeps scoring goals. Antonio Cholak just keeps scoring goals. But we all kind of expected the Morelos to be leading the line at Anfield. Everyone knows where I sit with this one, so I'm not going to sit and bore you all by going through the same stuff. But I want to ask you, watching today's video, yes, you, I want you to answer down there. Just say a name. Is it Cholak or Morelos? Who do you want leading the line at Anfield tomorrow? That'd be fantastic, so we can scroll down and just see where everyone's sitting 24 hours before the game. Whilst you're hopefully getting involved in today's video, because I genuinely love it. It's a special occasion, people. It'd be great to see you fire in what you're thinking down below. I'll give you a little bit of a Rangers team updates. Again, there's not too much to actually break down because we just spoke about it a couple of days ago. Get used to me saying that, as we've got about 9 games in October to go through together. But regarding the injury team news, there's been no major setbacks or anyone. Hollander, Hadji, Suter, Roof, still long-term injuries. Now, apart from Roof, we just, I don't know, heads or tails, I don't know about when he's coming fricking back. But we did get some news regarding obviously Ben Davies, who some people were worrying that he came off at half time and everything like that, but he was took off because he was on a yellow card and Gio doesn't trust the referees pretty much. Now it's an indictment to what our Scottish game is and the officials, but that's the way we go about our business. And for me, I thought Davies was absolutely sensational versus Hearts in terms of what he offered us defensively sound. So aye, the former Liverpool man I think is going to be vital in this game tomorrow. Him and Goldson, that's all I want to see now. Build the partnership up and see where we go. Ryan Jack also came off at half time and he looked to be limping a little bit, but he's fully expected to be going ahead and playing in this game, and I expect him and Lundstrom to be the linchpin in that midfield to try and battle and try and win absolutely everything. Again, Lawrence remains in the timeline that we spoke about for Hearts. Fingers crossed he's selected for this game. There is a press conference that's coming out in a couple of hours, so I will update it in the comments. So if you want to scroll down, I'll pin the comment letting you know if it is. Alright, but as I'm currently recording through the first update, there's that many updates, preview videos and that I need to watch and that these days. Through the first update, he remains on the same deadline and they're hopeful that he can get involved. But everyone else remains in the exact same timeline, people. So now that we've said everything we need to say in today's video, that's the oppositional preview, that's the Rangers conversation, that's my Rangers mindset and the latest Rangers team news. Now all that's left for me and thee today is to try to predict a game at Anfield. Good luck. Now, the last couple of times I've actually went 1-1 and we've ended up getting beat 4-0 in the Champions League game, so I'm not going to pick 1-1 even though I think it could potentially be that, and for me that would be a good result. But aye, I'm going to go with a draw. I just think it's going to be a draw this game. I will think it will be Rangers 2, Liverpool 2. 2-1 in it. It's 2-1 here, isn't it? I know. 2-1, I was thinking 2. Channel favourite, let's go. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's my thoughts and opinions on the game. I can't wait to see how you're feeling before the Battle of Britain. I'm excited. It's what football is all about, and I'll be riding every single wave of that game with everybody that tunes in to this channel until tomorrow after the game. I'll be TJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.